Time check. Welcome back to Around the MLS show with Sam and Chris right here on ASN Sports TV. Yes, and we are back again after we finished that episode that talked about the opening match between Real Salt Lake and Inter Miami at Fort Lauderdale. And now we are going to talk about other games that are slated to take place on Saturday across all match venues. Chris, a lot of games going to take place on Saturday because I see Saturday as the real opening day of the season. I don't know why they fixed this game because they have the Champions Cup going on. I don't know why they should sandwich league opener among Champions Cup. Yesterday we saw Dynamo went down 2-1 at St. Louis. We saw Philadelphia Union got a 3-2 away win in Costa Rica against Deportivo Saprissa. So today we have Inter Miami. We have New England Revolution away in Panama, and we have other games also in the Champions Cup. Why would MLS start the season when they have the Champions Cup going on?
I just think it's the fact that they want to try to create as much games as possible for the season. You know how in Europe you have a lot of games. You have the Champions League, for example, take the Premier League, right? You have the Champions League, you have the League Cup, you have the FA Cup, you also have the Carling Cup. You have a couple of cups that they play. So I think they are trying to emulate that same formula to try to create more games, just to keep the fans engaged more. You know,
The fans are already watching their clubs playing the Champions Cup. I mean, we have Orlando will be away in Canada against Calvary Football Club. Even tomorrow, Nashville will be away against Mocha FC. Cincinnati will be away against Cavaliers FC. So we have games that MLS fans, despite the fact maybe your club might not be playing, but we have MLS club playing the continent. I found it a little bit mind-boggling that MLS will face the opening day. Are they trying to share the viewership with CONCACAF?
well, maybe you never know. But the CONCACAF have a large viewership outside of the US, so it's also like a market they want to tap into. They can also grab fans from there to keep on watching the MLS as well. Besides, the US team are participating in the tournament, so why not give it more make it prestigious, give it more bites so people can get tuned in and also watch as well.
People can tune and watch as well. Now let's look at some of the key games that will take place on Saturday, which is February 24th, the opening day. I call it the proper opening day. Yes, Columbus Crew, defending champions, will start their campaign at home against Atlanta United. These are two teams that know themselves. Columbus Crew, against all odds, emerged champions last season, and now they are opening their campaign at Lower.com Stadium at home against Atlanta United, that have this Jojo Giacomakis, the guy that won the Newcomer of the Year award in the MLS. I mean, what are you expecting from that game, Chris?
It's going to be very interesting knowing that the first game of the season, so everybody's going to be a little bit rusty back from preseason. A lot of adjustments will be made, last minute touches just to prepare yourself for the whole season. So it's going to be equally contested.
And when you look at their last regular season meeting last time out, I think Columbus Crew is having an edge over them, 2 wins against one of Atlanta United. And that means they played 9 times, 3 draws. Atlanta won 7 of those meetings. So, but the fact is that you have Columbus Crew that still retain the crop of their players. Christian Ramirez, who left Houston to Aberdeen, now back to MLS on the roster of Columbus Crew. You have is it Dennis Jones leaving Charlotte Football Club to Columbus Crew. I mean, when he was in Houston, Dennis Jones is still a developing player. He hasn't really hit his potentials. And what do you think Columbus Crew saw in him that made them to grab him?
Well, Columbus Crew, like we know, they are currently MLS champions. So they definitely know what they're doing. So when they spot someone they think will be able to solidify that team, they'll go for it because they'll definitely want to come into the season as champions and try to retain the championship, which will be very difficult. But they show they have done it before. They still have the same players, Ramirez. It's just a matter of how hungry these players are to want to try and get a double.
Try and get a double because I think they're trying to create depth in their squad. Because depth in squad is what will keep your team going this season. Looking at the fact that you play the League Cup, if you're in the Champions Cup, you're going to play. If you're on the US Open Cup, even there's a little bit of brouhaha going on between the MLS and the US Soccer Federation. MLS trying to downplay the Open Cup,
Mhm.
while the US Soccer Federation is trying to, put the Open Cup right there, which, in my own opinion, the Open Cup like the FA Cup.
It give everybody opportunity to show how great you are. Yeah.
So I agree. But when you go to the rankings, where a lot of soccer pundits think that all these teams might finish, they still have Columbus Crew number one. Wilfred Nancy might rewrite history and win the MLS Cup back to back. No one knows. These are pundits. Last season, they never gave them a chance to make the postseason.
No, never. They
So
made it.
pundit only tell you what they feel, looking at what happened or what they see the team is doing. If a team should capitalize on their success and improve on their recruitment, they will say, okay, this team have this and that and this. For that, I think they might finish at this stage. But at the end of the day, reality will set in when we have fatigue, injuries, a lot of things will contribute to a team success. All right, let's go to the game between Houston and Dynamo. Let's come back to the home front. Dynamo at home against Sporting Kansas, the familiar foe. You saw Dynamo last night at the Champions Cup in CONCACAF. Were you expecting that team to play at that level with such dexterity? Looking at what their problems has been in recent past in terms of departures, injury problem, and all that.
Honestly, I didn't give Dynamo a chance to. I thought Dynamo was going to fall like 3 to 4 goals yesterday. But when I watched that game, I was so impressed. Ben Olsen is an amazing coach. You gotta give him credit because for the fact he's able to create something out of nothing, just shows his mentality of the game and how good he is as a coach. Dynamo are facing so much injuries this season and also the departure of key players. But for you to come out with a team that's barely unknown with some new players and come out, even though it fell by 2 goals to 1, but dominating the game and scoring an away goal, I think that is something we need to give Ben also his flowers for.
We need to give Benoit his flowers. We look at last season, Dynamo played gorgeous football last year. I mean, they played amazing football from the midfield with players like Arthur, and Hector Herrera being the leader of the team. But right now, Hector is out. Quinones, the young star who always operates from the right with his speed and his intelligence, is out for the rest of the season. Then you have Corey Bird, who had one of his in fact, his best season in MLS career on that
Houston.
in Houston. Now he went to Cincinnati. Now we have a rumor that Frank Escobar may head to Florida to join Inter Miami. And even though the Dynamo are saying they've not received a substantial offer for him, but this season now, and the one thing also that I found or building is the fact that Coco put pen to paper
Yeah, you hear his contract.
in his contract. Great news from Houston. But now, do you think that Dynamo capitalized on their last season success to recruit players?
Well, I was surprised they didn't even recruit enough players, but I think they're going to recruit more players to solidify the team to be a real contender. Because last season, we know Dynamo did not have very good team, but they're able to scrap up the results and almost lost to the finals with the LMC in the Western Conference Final on their way to winning the MLS Cup after winning the US Open Cup. So I thought they were going to solidify their team with get more depth, more experienced players. But the team seemed to know what it's doing. For them to when they played against St. Louis yesterday, man, honestly, like I didn't see that coming. So let's hope that they can start on a good face like that, and who knows, the injuries can easily heal on time, and the players that are going can come and join while before the game starts getting funny. Because when the season just gets started, a lot of teams are still trying to put things together to solidify their team. So
Yeah,
there's room for improvement. But after the first 6, 7 games,
he said to get funny.
the men start to separate themselves from the boys.
I mean, also
So
now they have a DP spot open
open,
with the
yes,
departure of Hector Teenage Hadebe,
yeah.
who fell down the pecking order. Spoke to Teenage last time, and he said that he attracted a lot of interest from other MLS teams, but they still think that Teenage is still injured. So he signed only 4 months contract in Turkey for them to see him active, that we may see him back in the MLS. Even Franco, who was on loan, who came on loan from Club Libertad, went back. He couldn't nail down a permanent deal because he didn't really impress. I mean, I don't know why he came on, but I mean, key signing, they were able to resign Dawson Gray and Griffin Dawson.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing this time.
they also brought in Jan Gregus, as a central midfield, and I mean, at the end of the day, they should ride on the wave of getting to the MLS Western Conference Finals to bring in other key pieces. Now, Sebastian Ferrari is injured his hamstring yesterday in that game against St. Louis, and Ben Olsen during the post-match conference said that he don't know the timeline or how long he's going to be out. So that also opened room for a player to come in and shine. Who do you think will replace Seth Ferrari? Nigerian boy Aliyu was a stand last night. I saw him. Dude ball last night. Their goal, his assist, his turn provider after they cancelled
Beautiful
his
goal.
beautiful goal due to their controversial
VAR.
VR offside call. You know, where do you think Aliu Ibrahim might rank in terms of his contribution to Houston this season?
Well, this is an opportunity for him to actually show how good he is because we know last season he didn't really get a lot of playing time, even when he played, he scored goals and he did some amazing assists as well. But he didn't get the full playing time he really wanted. So now with Beard not being a team anymore, so this will give him an opportunity to show how good he is and for him to solidify his place in that team as a striker. So let's just see how the season goes. It's interesting to see how it goes at the end of the day.
I'm looking at the prediction of MLS Pundit, where they said that will finish. They have them hovering between seventh and eighth. Marcelo Balbo said they will finish seventh. Mado said they will finish 11th in Western Conference. Miguel Gerardo 10th. Bradley Wright Phillips said they will be third in the Western Conference. Diego Valeri said they will be seventh in the Western Conference. Listen, I get it. Disappointed. They make this prediction or this postulation based on what they've seen in the team. But then Dynamo have this formidable record at home. Just like Ben Olsen have always said in his pre-match comments sometimes that if they can make this Shell Energy Stadium hell for teams that will come here, they will pick stuff on the road. And that what happened last season.
Yeah.
They made hell. In fact, it was dubbed hell in the shell. And now look at Sporting Kansas. This is a team that they know very well. They met in the US Open Cup, and you know what happened. So Sporting Kansas coming to town. What do you think the scoreline might be?
Oh man. Well, Houston, I give Houston the victory because Houston is a little bit warmed up on hot already. They just played yesterday, so the players are already geared up mentally for the league start. Kansas they don't play. They're playing the. I don't think they're playing in the Champions
No,
League.
they're not. They're
So
not.
yeah, so they just play a couple of preseason games, which everybody plays preseason games. But Houston is home, and Houston, from what they played yesterday, is going to be difficult to really beat Houston. So I think I give Houston that victory.
Yeah, they will have the opening day win, but I want to see my Nigerian fan talking about with William Agada. He will be in town, so we'll have a chance to speak to him to see how what his aspirations might be this season. All right, then let's keep moving. This is the Around the MLS show with Sam and Chris right on ASN Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is still Around the MLS show with Sam and Chris right here on ASN Sports TV, and we are looking at some of key matches that will take place this Saturday, the opening day weekend. We just spoke about Houston Dynamo at home against Sporting Kansas. Now we're going to look about LAFC against Seattle Sounders. Yes, I froze a little bit. That's the fun of the show. You know what I mean? Because when you are in the spirit, carried away, you are being teleported to somewhere different, right? Seattle and LAFC. This is a rematch of the Western Conference Final. Where LAFC, prior to that game, they've not won in Seattle for a couple of games, and then went there. Denny Boanga.
What a strike!
What a strike from Denny Boanga. That Gabonese striker
Yeah.
who won the Golden Boot. And he tried to force his way out of
That's the
LAFC.
conversation for another day, man.
Man, he tried to force his way.
I don't think he tried to force his way. He's just knowing the kind of person he's like. I can tell he's a little bit big headed, but he feels he's big headed in the MLS playing in Europe.
But that's disrespectful, kind of,
In a way, he is though. He shows how big headed he is, how big headed he might be. But he's a great player. You can't take nothing away from his talent or how he plays. So regardless of attitude, sometimes The talent have well shielding from bad side. They'll give you that lapse, that loose, they will still be there regardless.
Atuesta is back.
I am so happy at Westa Eduardo is back.
Yeah,
Great player.
Acosta is out. He went to Chicago Fire.
Yeah, what's that?
He left on a free transfer. Kellini retired. You know,
Johnny coaching crew.
and now we have Hugo Lloris from the Premier League
World
to
Cup
the
winner.
MLS
World
World Cup
Cup
winner.
winner.
A lot of experience, from Hugo
But
Lloris.
guess what though? We have two World Cup winners now in the league. We have Hugo.
Three.
Okay, three. Yes.
The guy who got Melda
Yeah,
in Atlanta.
Atlanta, the Argentine.
The-
Messi and now Hugo. So you see, the league is getting up. It's getting better. But God champions already participate in the league, and even though they're a little bit old, but they still have time to still do one or two things.
Yeah, the core strength of LAFC will be on Denny Bwanga. They want him to replicate that form he had last season, where he scored, double-digit goals and emerged the highest goal scorer. Will he be able to replicate that? Let's see what happens between them and Seattle Sounders. Seattle Sounders, great team. We have our Cameroonian brother Nuhu Tolu.
Nuhu, the strong
You know,
Nuhu.
but he didn't really. I watched Cameroon in the African
No,
Nations Cup,
Nuhu's always one of the best.
you
players
know,
in Cameroon.
and Nuhu performed to his best of his ability, but Cameroon fell short against Nigeria. Yes. Yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting one. Because the game is at the BMO
Yeah,
in California.
yeah.
So LAF know how to bring, I mean, you're LAFC fan. In fact, let me see your ring. Show to the camera. Here's the camera. Ah,
You, baby.
that's LAFC guy. And when it comes to LAFC issues, he's a little bit biased. So how do you feel with Atuesta coming back to his familiar hunting ground?
No, it's part of the history. That's one of those players that would be part of the history from the beginning. He was there from the beginning. He won the Community Shield with the LAFC. I see how one of the jerseys that he signed for me. So he's the person, someone that I know. I've met personally. He's a good person off and on the field. So I'm so happy he's back to wearing the black and gold jersey. It's wonderful to see him playing back in the black and gold.
Yeah, as of the time we are talking about this stuff, Carlos Vela still remain an out of contract free agent, so he hasn't really put pen to paper, you know, at LAFC. Will he resign with LAFC? We don't know, but if if they should eventually lose Carlos Vela, how big of a loss will it be to LAFC?
I don't think it's a big of a loss. I just think Calabella has paid his state is he's paid his price. I think that's the right word. So maybe it's a better word to use. But basically, no, he stayed his relevance. That's what I want to use. The time with Carlos Vela
Has come and gone.
has come and gone. It has nothing to do with how bad he was missing. Of course, you're gonna miss Vela. Vela brought a lot of magic, a lot of memories in the stadium. Now BMO, but from
Bank of California.
Bank of California. So many memories from Vela. Great games against and the rivalry in Los Angeles and LA
Chicharito.
Galaxy. They say LA Galaxy and some other teams, but I think that time has come and gone. It's the time for a new era for LAFC. We need to get someone better that can replace him. To solidify that LAFC dominance. And I think somebody else will be needed. I think they tried to use Bale, but Bale came and gone. Hugo is a good sign as well too, but I think they need a player with big character. Pick on the team because fella had that they got a larger than life kind of character. That was more like the LAFC stamp, the LAFC poster man. Anywhere you're playing Carlos Vela. That was like the hit man behind all the action. Even if he doesn't play or he doesn't play
His
well,
name still ring a bell.
because his name is there. Everybody got a way of being scared to watch Carlos Vela play. So that factor we missed, but the team has gone above Carlos Vela.
The team has way gone above Carlos Vela with the departure of Diego Palacios to Corinthians and with the signing of Omar Campos from Santos Laguna. That gave LAFC a little bit of great fresh leg at the left back. Now you have David Martinez, the Venezuelan teenager, a winger. That also give them a youthful exuberance, on that attack. I think LAFC will come out. They will come out good this season because they will review how they fell short in the MLS Cup finals to Columbus Crew, and they'll want to fix that and see how they, because LAFC, this is a team that want to compete and win trophy every season. Their ambition is unmatched. When it comes to other MLS clubs. So you see it in their signings. They are the ones that bring in big names. Look at Gareth Bale, they brought in Kelly, now they have Hugo Lloris. So talk about LAF. Talk about their ambition to win trophy every season, but they have Seattle Sounders to contend with, on Saturday. So let's look at other matches this opening day weekend. Yes, we have Charlotte Football Club at home against New York City Football Club. Battle of the Eastern Conference. DC against New England. New England will test themselves today in the Champions
Yeah.
Cup, and that will put them in a competitive or competition mode
Well, yeah.
ahead of the opening day weekend. That is why I think Houston will beat Sporting Kansas on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Now we have Orlando against Montreal. Also, Orlando will play tonight against Calvary Football Club in the Champions Cup, which also, reignite their competitive or hunger or zeal ahead of the opening weekend. Then you have Philadelphia Union already. You saw what he did, in Costa Rica. Julian Carranza, grabbing a hat trick in the continent. Great game that was, and they will host Chicago Fire. Austin FC.
Well, let's see if the hype continues. That's all I can say.
At home against Minnesota.
Austin is a very weird team. Like sometimes they play so good. Sometimes you just wonder what you're thinking about. Like why, how they're crumbling so bad. Like so, you can't really put your stake on Austin FC because they can either surprise you or impress you.
I,
So
I think their inaugural season when they went all the way, to the playoff, to the, I think Western Conference Semis Award, I think they overachieved. And
I
that
don't think they. I don't
I
think
I,
they. I
I,
don't think
I
they
I
over.
think they did. I think they did.
LAFC in their
Just
inaugural
like
season went far
just
too.
no, just like St. Louis right now. Just like
They
St. Louis.
overachieved last
They
season.
overachieved last season. They did.
Well, St. Louis
So we're gonna see if they're
they're
gonna
gonna have what it
replicate
takes. Yeah,
that in performance this
this
season.
season.
Austin overachieved, and that made their fans thinking that they can win the MLS Cup. Now we found them in that second
Technically,
season
their level.
syndrome.
Technically, their level.
Yeah, their level. So FC Dallas and San Jose, at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. I think FC Dallas have an edge at home. St. Louis against yeah. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen in that game. I mean, these are the games that we have on Saturday, opening day weekend of the 2024 MLS regular season. And don't forget, we have our website, asnsportstv.net. Just go there because we have a lot of content on that platform for our viewers, readers, and listeners. So, Chris, before we call it a quit, right now, let's have a recap. What are you expecting in general this opening day Saturday?
No, it's gonna be great. I was putting a lot of goals. People are looking forward to the games. Season just got started. I'm personally, I'm super excited. MLS is back. I just want to watch all the games as much as possible and just see the team that we impressed me the most. But so far, Inter Miami seems to be one of the most interesting teams that everyone wants to watch. Because next, as well as the LAFC, back to the other teams as well too. So it's gonna be an amazing season. I think it's gonna be better than last season. Just going to sit down, enjoy and relax.
Seeing to sit down, enjoy, grab your beer, grab whatever you drink because it's gonna be a great season. MLS is back, and we are excited here at ASN Sports TV. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also you can follow us on all our social media platforms, and also go to our website asnsportstv.net because we have a lot of things coming your way. My name is Sam. Thanks for watching.
Nice.